Okay, so hello everyone. We're going to discuss what's new in this latest release and basically what's interesting and what's good to know, and that may help you to make a decision to upgrade to a new version. So I will try to highlight some of the things that I found interesting and useful. A few words about myself. I'm Igor. I work at Function Factory for a few years already, and mostly as a functional consultant. So that's my main area of interest, and that's why I'm presenting this kind of webinar about what's new from functional, let's say, perspective, but of course some interesting stuff, or let's say important, that's really worth to know. And if you haven't heard about some of the topic or heard a lot of times about it, so just keep in mind that I think it was worth to mention one or another topic, even if I think everyone should know. So this is short agenda, but I want to go through it. So let's just jump right into the webinar. And this is a short reminder that there was a great, well, I can call it really great event that passed, well, I think over a month ago. But it's still open for visitors, for someone who wants to catch up, because all sessions are recorded and available, and you can see that this sessions was really great. And if you haven't attended, so you just can I will find a link at the end of my presentation. You just can go straight into this Business Central Launch event dashboard, let's call it this way, and find basically everything we will be talking about today, and even more and more topics, because there are around 20 or even more sessions, and it's really not possible to cover everything in a single webinar. So I just cherry-picked what's important, but everyone should just go through the sessions, take a look what else is available, because the event is huge and really useful. So I believe everyone knows it, because it's really important topic for everyone, the storage. So what's Microsoft introduced and changed? So basically they tried to close this topic once and for all. So basically, so everyone would be happy with the storage plans. So as you can see, we get some additional per user allocation that helps a lot. Additional gigabytes cost less now, and keep in mind, if you have this additional gigabytes SKU, you should they won't convert them automatically. So you should contact Microsoft to change it. So, and how Microsoft did these calculations and why they think this should solve most of the problems for partners. This is based on real customer example calculations, and as you can see, most of the time with this additional storage, you are covering. You have no need to purchase any additional storage SKUs. Well, there are some cases where maybe you have just a few users but generate a huge amounts of data in your system. Then yes, then it may require some additional cost, but still it's not that huge as before. And this is effective from July 1. So, but again, I think everyone this is just a brief reminder, and let's say a push if you're still hesitating about going to SaaS. So this is a great opportunity now, because it costs, well, you don't need to think basically about storage anymore. And let's dive into what's really changed, or what was introduced in the latest version, and what is interesting. So I think everyone, well, if you have launched the new version, at least Docker, because I haven't seen the screen on, let's say, CDX demos or other, or my live tenant, but whenever I start any new Docker environment, first of all, on the homepage you see this screen, this let's say introduction to the system, and I think it's really great tool and Microsoft introduced a lot of tooling for partners to adjust this set of onboarding tools or instruments Microsoft provided. So basically, also they can be enhanced by partners, and you can create your own help content, your own checklist, or enhance existing checklist. And this slide explains it a bit. So again, you can find a full session, full 45-minute session about how to create and enhance your own tools. But the main idea is that you can enhance almost everything. So basically, there is a new table that you can reuse for your getting started checklist. You can find information. You can add additional steps, let's say, in the tables by the configuration packages, in example. So you can use unassisted setups, you can use in manual setups, and by the way, you can also change your manual setups with authoring tools with just very few code lines. And of course, you can have a learn URL. We can have a quick look at how it looks in real life. So basically, you have this get started notification. You can start it, and let's say I think not a lot of users saw this last example when we can reuse even URLs in our checklist. So yeah, if I will start this last topic, I will just go to Microsoft Help environment. You can also do this and use your own tooling for that. So I can skip any step. I can let's say what I need in the very beginning, probably to set up maybe some user permissions. I can go directly to user permissions, and what is more interesting, I get a notification to start a tour. And if I will take this tour, it will navigate me in few easy steps. Well, basically, Microsoft recommends to do it in, well, at most 5 steps, not to lose customer or user attention. And if you need, you can revisit it anytime just by clicking this the page name and retake a tour. This is really small one, but there are bigger tours, and well, basically it's up to you how you're going to arrange that. But what is the signal from Microsoft looking at these enhancements, that Microsoft really want to give you a lot of tooling to onboard users, especially if there are a lot of repeatable tasks, in your when you're creating new environments. So or just by offloading the whole setup to the users themselves, just by providing a lot of self-service information with this tooling. So again, you can even implement it in various let's say scenarios when you can reuse the actual response from the users. Let's say you have a checklist with the task to select some industry. Then, depending on this industry, you can just download it in time, upload this package, and move on with the checklist just without user noticing anything. So you're just populating data as you go. So and everything, and this is basically a scenario that is that can be implemented. So you just should, if you're interested how to improve user onboarding. So that's I recommend to take a look because there are, I think, at least two sessions on this topic. And Microsoft really thinks this important and helpful for user experience. Few slides about really seemingly minor changes, but they're really useful because in the end they are let's say aligning the performance, net performance behavior of the system across different scenarios, and well, for user it becomes much more easy to navigate. So first of all, double click is well, with a simple double click. If I will go to customers, let's see, to customer list, with double click somewhere between the lines, I will just activate the default action. And default action in this case is to open a well, customer card. So if I will click the name, I will start just selection of the name. So nothing will happen, no default action. So we can utilize this double click experience, because you can set it also. Well, you can utilize this behavior and change it if you need. Another small but again really useful improvement, as I see it, is when we are in a customer card. So however you navigate with keyboard, right now I'm navigating with keyboard, or I'm navigating with mouse, you see that whole selection is being selected. And second click just takes me whenever exactly I want to. But if I press the field for the first time, so it selects me the whole text. The idea behind it is that probably if we are selecting something, so that means we need to select the whole field and maybe copy it and reuse it somewhere. So small but really neat features. Some improvements, well, again, some neat UI improvements. The page inspection, as you can see, first of all, you can collapse it and just work through the system, or it became much more, let's say, smart, because with condensed situation, as you can see, it overlays the content instead of just trying to let's say narrow it down, and one page becomes unusable. So you can still, even if you have a really space condensed situation, you can fully use page inspection. Again, some minors around UI, but these minors, they really make your day-to-day life much more easier, because I noticed it personally for not for more than once, that whenever you have a report and you try to adjust the space, or you have a space limited situation, it just, I don't know, reformats it and shrinks it in unexpected way. And now what Microsoft has changed is basically when there are not enough space, we have just a normal slider to navigate through our data. And as you can see, the data itself, the layout of data is looks normal and readable, instead of just trying to shrink it and become unreadable or unusable. So I think this part closes the, let's say, some of the onboarding and UX improvements, and here are some technical stuff that you should think about if you're moving to the new version, or you're in transition, or maybe want to create some new products for it. So as you can see, Node.NET standard this will be depreciated. Well, basically are depreciated. UI pages as SOAP endpoints are also depreciated. Data v3 is also depreciated, and the help server is removed. You have an alternative to use custom help toolkit, but I think it was even if in previous version it was announcement that help server component will be removed, so now it's removed. And also important thing that legacy browsers are not supported anymore. So basically Edge or older versions of Chrome, or not Edge, but Internet Explorer, and the older versions of Chrome and Edge will not be supported, and you will get a notification, but basically an error if your version is outdated. I have actually haven't seen this notification this error in my situation, but well, I personally, most of the time I keep browsers updated, so I'm not sure. Maybe I'm always up to date, or the versions are, version list are big enough, supported version list are big enough for me not to fall into the situation. But older versions are definitely are not going to work. Another important thing, but I think it was a big announcement. Well, for most of the partners, it was a big announcement, and I believe most of us knows what is happening, what change is happening. So basically, Microsoft are depreciating the application builder and solution developer, and this applies to all customer licenses bought through DPL. So this affects, well, not this version, but this is not version related, but let's say it's starting from version 15 and forward. It's more time related. So customers will be able to develop in the custom range without any additional, let's say, licenses. Customers have full access to both to test toolkits and the objects, if we are talking about the test toolkits, and same happens with the brick. And what customers, what at the action point at the current moment in time is that customers need to download the new license. And well, you can of course read more, because this is only a few of most, let's say, important questions, but there are even more. If you will go deeper to this link, you will find even more information, what is changing and how it's changing, and how to behave in various situations according to Microsoft. So, and well, basically, what is most important is, of course, that objects, custom objects, will need to be purchased on premises. So again, this is, sorry if I have maybe not mentioned it in the very beginning, but it's about Business Central on premises. And well, I shortly moved through these topics, and while from the last webinar we got a lot of feedback that some hands-on experiences maybe a little bit more interesting for some of us. So I will try to spend the rest of the time around the demos, around actual functional changes and demos. So in this short demo, so Microsoft has provided us the tool, well, not the tool, but a few changes around the dimensions. So one of them is a shortcut dimensions that are now can be easily well, accessed in any, well, in most of the ledger entry tables. And whenever you enable, whenever you just yeah, whenever you have set any of the shortcut dimensions, you can see them right out of the box in your entries when you will post records with these dimensions. Some changes happened around allowed dimensions value filtering, and it became much more universal. And I will have well, I will basically demo. Also, we have finally a dimension correction tool that's pretty universal, but have one downside, that is currently only working with GL entries only. But it's working, and working in a very good way, I would say. So if we would talk about shortcut dimensions, so we can take a look at our setup and take a look at I have definitely set some shortcut dimensions. Of course, it's Chrome setup. So, but now whenever I will go to let's see, add preferences, I will, or I should see, yeah, all the additional dimensions, all the shortcut dimensions in let's see my entry table. Well, I want demo posting, but okay, sorry. Same of course happens in general ledgers. So I want post any new records, but yeah, so basically any new operations. But we have all the shortcut dimensions under in one place, and it's really can help if you're working with Excel, with export to Excel, and it's much more easier to analyze this data. Uh, another change around or improvement around default dimensions is that now let's say we have a customer, and you can see that around default dimensions I can also start a tour that explains me what to do, how to what can I do here, and also it's important to mention that it's well, the tools created by Microsoft, they're mainly focused on the question not how but what. So basically, if you're going to build these tools yourself, so it may be a good thing to think about not how to. Well, it's not help. It's basically information what you can do here, and just to kick off some user actions. And what is interesting here is that now we can allow a set of specific values. So of course we need to set let's say code mandatory, and I can say that this specific customer can only be posted to production or sales dimensions. I cannot choose this administration dimension for this customer. So, and as you can see, this by selecting these values, these needed values, I have a pretty filter that is actually working. And I don't know if we will have enough time, but well, let's go through what's important, and if there will be more time left, and try to showcase that it's really working. And trust me, it's really working this way. And of course, this can help us in different scenarios. For example, well, because dimension combinations, or I don't know, blocking certain dimensions doesn't really gives us a full control over what's needed. And in this case, we are getting much more control of different allowed situations, basically what we allow and what we don't want to allow customer to post. So okay, so now we can also take a look at dimensions, and we can take a look at, let's say, department dimension, and I'm not sure what's happening here, but my goal would be, well, I'm not sure it's a best example, but my goal is to, let's say, that for any situation where item is involved, so basically I'm setting this setup for whole item table. So basically wherever something happens with items, so I can say that so I can do the same thing. I can say that items in my company are only for sales. So basically only for sales, for dimension, for sales dimension. And in this case, so basically system will every time will control that only this code is allowed. And you can it doesn't work the same way as it would be the same code. No, it's not the same code. It's just code mandatory, but by this filter I said that it's only for sales. Okay, it may make more sense if I will set it for production and sales, and in this case well, basically what I want to say, that only production and sales departments are working with items, and whenever administration will try to post something, it just won't work. This value is not allowed. Okay, so this is information about this allowed values filter, and in real life, I think it's a really powerful tool that allows us different combinations, and more control over dimensions. And finally, we have a dimension correction tool, which you can run both, let's say, from registers or from directly from GL entries. So let's go to the GL registers, and I think, well, I don't know which one fits best, but let's say I will choose this one, and you can see that I have reverse action. Of course, under GL entries, it sits under different action, but while I can reverse register here, so but maybe I want to correct dimensions straight from the GL register. And as you can see, it opens up a dialog window for me. And you can see below the dimensions that are listed, and you can even see that there are multiple dimensions. We have a very good information about what we are changing. So basically, every entry is listed. But it happened because I came here from the register. So it sorry, wrong button. So it basically pulled every entry that is needed. But I can, as you can see, I have much more control over what is listed. I can add related entries. Related entries are added by operation number. If we will come from GL entry and we will come here with one entry only, I can add additional entries and they will be populated. I can also select manually some entries. I can remove these entries. I can add them by filter, and as you can see, well, really different situations are possible. Of course, and also I can see what is selected right now. Basically, this happened because I came from transaction 178, and it has all the entries. But this is some of the details about how these tools work and how this tool work, and it will work really good. So now I can basically, you see that there is no change currently, but if I would like to change the separation to different, let's say, salesperson, I just select the needed salesperson, needed dimension. Sorry, let's put it back. But this is still a pending operation. This is nothing is happening right now. And we even have a option to update analysis view. I don't want to do it right now, and maybe you also need to think about, do you need to do it every time, or maybe because it may involve huge amount of changes, so you may think about, do you even need it? Also, I can add a short description. Okay, salesperson, and even without doing anything, I just can leave this page and nothing is really happening. But back to dimension corrections, and you see that I have a basically pending status is draft, but it's a pending change. So I want to continue, and I want to update analysis view. And what I can do is, of course, first I can validate dimension changes, and I believe in this case it will work. But it's without doing anything, you are getting information if everything is okay and this change can be made. But in my case, I would like to run it. And as you can see, it's most of the time this is possible to whenever Microsoft, not Microsoft system proposes us to do. I have also a tool to schedule it for the later time, because in this case it's really quick change, but if we're working with big amounts of data or changing really multiple thousands of records, so you may like to maybe offload this change from your working hours to maybe some non-working hours if it's possible. And as you can see that this dimension correction was successfully scheduled. So basically it's still not haven't happened instantly, but it has finds time to run and then it runs. And I think the status won't change right now, and I probably need to reopen the page. Yeah, but now I can see that the change is completed. What else is interesting, that I can do this change more than once. So if I will just get back to my registers, I may like to, okay, so I have a new salesperson here, but oh damn, sorry, but I need to change it again. Not the age will be but yeah. Again, I just changed it the salesperson, and I want to run it. Okay. It was a bad idea because I haven't executed it right now. Okay, so I will run it again. And now, well, I don't know if I will have enough time to repeat it, but okay, it's a quick change. So I will change it again to this one and run it. So now I have two completed dimension changes, and what's also interesting, I can reverse them, but I need to reverse them in the same in reverse order. So basically, if I want to reverse, I can also reverse it. So if I would like to reverse to reverse this change, I should repeat the steps in backwards order. So I can reverse this correction, and I can reverse also this correction. And well, if I made a lot of mistakes, so I can reverse them back. But keep in mind that again, it makes changes only to GL entries, and it may not always solve all your problems, but if it's enough, well, in some cases it's enough to introduce this kind of correction. So and it's really easy and useful tool to do this. So that's some neat changes about dimensions. Again, you can find I think a whole or a half of a session around this topic. So just take a look, and yeah, and you will know much more than I do now. Okay, so this was about dimensions. Also, we have some small, not huge, but improvements in our production process. And depending on your company process, it may be useful, or may not be useful at all if you are not working a lot with production. So what is the change here? So is that we can define own production bombs and routings on some specific stock keeping unit and use it in production. We can use variant code in production order header, and if we're planning our production from sales orders, and we're selling some specific variants, they also goes to our productions, and we are basically producing let's say variants because in some situation it's really useful. And we can also define a lot size for various stages of production. So basically in routing, we can define a lot size to basically manage the lots in which items are produced during some production time. So I will also showcase some of these changes. Okay, so now let's go to the items, and we have, let's say, front wheel. I simulated this situation a bit, so situations might be really well. You might have different situations, but in this case, what I have is I have an item variant, two item variants, and I would like to basically create a. Well, I don't have any stock keeping units currently, but I would like to create them and to basically to apply protection bombs and routines straight on them. So as you can see, I have created a two variants from this for this item, because well, I have a front wheel, but maybe sometimes it's white and sometimes it's black. And what I want to do now is, of course, also to, and I always forgot where there's this section. Yeah, it's here. So I want just to create this variants and not variants, but stock keeping units. And now, if I will open up my stock keeping units, I can set. Yeah. And by the way, you won't see it out of the box, and the same goes to variant code, even in production order header. But while it's a really fresh environment, so we will just do it all together. So just add. As you can see, there are two new fields available to put in here. Okay, so I'm done. Unfortunately, I have not prepared the separate production bombs for this situation. But let's imagine that I have one bomb. One bomb for my black wheel and one bomb for my white wheel. So basically, some tire will be different, but everything else stays the same. So now I have possibility. Okay, I have black and I have my white stock keeping unit. Let's say production bomb is the same, but in ideal case it would be different. And now, if I want to, let's say, to sell this wheel to someone, whoever it would be. And I want to sell basically two of them because one will be roots and orders. I have variant code here. Variant code goes somewhere here. And by the way, this need change. Yeah, I can just collapse this inspection pane. And that's it. It gives me much more space. So now what I can do? Where's my planning? So now I can create these two production orders. Okay. And basically I have these two production orders, and one, as you can see, is, again, I don't have a variant code here, so yeah, I should add this one here. Okay. And magic didn't happen. That is strange, I can say, because it definitely should populate. Well, and I'm wait a minute. It's not even here. Yep. This is a bit strange situation because it definitely had it working, and well, Microsoft during the sessions told that from planning this doesn't work and it's normal, but I had checked it and it worked in my case, and now I'm not sure why it's not working now. But so basically it should work. Well, not that it should work, but it worked for me once, and I'm not sure. Maybe it's a different Docker version. Maybe something was reversed. But still, you have I have a recommendation in chat, yes, but I mean, it should go to the production header automatically from my sales order, and I'm not really sure why it haven't happened now. So yeah, Microsoft, by the way, told, as I mentioned, that it's still in progress and improvement. So maybe it should work this way, but it definitely isn't working. Oh. Okay, so yeah, so that was the problem I missed. Probably on this sales order. Yeah. And then it, oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah. That's my bad. That's my bad. Yeah, so if I will have this variance here, of course, they would go to the production orders. Thank you, Chris, for that. Yeah, Chris and Massimiliano. Yeah, thank you for noticing this. It's all about hurrying. Yeah, and so basically we have a BOM and routing numbers, our own specific BOMs and routings on our stock keeping units. We have a variant codes in our production order header, and we can also set a our desired lot size on the routings, and not only on the routings for a very specific order, but also in our routings and wherever across the production we can have a lot size. And by defining this lot size, I would say this lot size also changing the lot size, of course, also changes our, let's say, production times. And I can say that in this case, let's say, RIM assembly, if I would say that lot size is 10, it means, as you can see, our production times has changed, it has been recalculated. But what it would mean that during this production time, not setup time, I will produce, let's say, 10 lots instead of, my team is capable of producing 10 operations, 10 RIMs assembled per this time. Again, maybe this is not the perfect example, but not the best real life example, but you're now able to do so, and you can also check additional information on the sessions. So this is few improvements in production. And for the end, a lot of, well, I would say a lot of interesting changes in our inventory that can help us in different situations. So first change is that lot and serial number information cards can be created automatically, and if we have our identity code, and we have this one, I can say this is for serial numbers, but if I'm using lots, so I can say that, okay, create me a lot number information card on both. So I will switch it on. I don't think I will be able to show full demo, but yeah, we can switch it on, and whenever I will do some postings, we will have a lot information cards, serial or lot no information cards created out of the box. The next improvement that now whenever we are and when we have our lots, so I would like to go to some items, have some thing. And here I can see item availability by lot. Unfortunately, I should create some of the entries for it, but you can, well, it was the idea of the demo to create this kind of entries, but time is a bit limited. So basically, we now have a availability by lot, and it's really neatly displaying us all the availabilities, including lots, and even the next talking about the next topic, we have even additional dimension that is called package dimension. So it's a tool, additional tool in our tracking to include this kind of dimension. It can be a container or whatever fits your business. Maybe, I don't know, a pallet, a container, well, whatever is a dimension. And what is important that you let's see, if we will go to inventory setup, you can see that we don't have any kind of additional dimensions here. But if we would go to our feature management, we would find that we have this kind of feature that can be enabled. So it's a feature update, and it's called use tracking by package number in reservation and so on. So what we need to do is just simply to enable it. And by the way, take a look if you haven't been here. So please take a look at the new sales pricing experience, because you may have missed it. And it's really working. It's extendable, and it's well, it was released some time ago. Maybe Microsoft doesn't stress out it a lot, but this experience is really working and can be used. But let's get back to our topic. And right now, take a look at inventory setup, and as you can see, you already have a package caption here. So what does it mean? I can call my package a container, and now whatever I go to item journal, and let's see, I would like to adjust my to get some cables. Let's see. Okay. And I would like to say cont1 and cont2. Whatever combination is possible, I can have it this way. Let's say maybe have lots in two different same lot, but in two different containers. So 100 here, 150 here, and 150 here. And okay. Yep. and wherever I will, whenever I will post it. Okay. And now you can see that this department is default, but it's not that even default. It will behave according my requirement to be filtered only. So it basically needs to be either product, either sales, and administration won't work. And we can also check this. Okay. Yeah. So because the administration department is not allowed for my items that the setup I made before. Right. So that's some demo flow. Okay, and now should be. So now when we will get back to our cable, so what we will have here, of course, it will be, we will have two lot information cards created. We can take a look at them. We have item number, lot number. Unfortunately, there is no container here yet. Probably they are not containers, or it's my additional package, let's say, dimension. So, but it will be included hopefully in future. And now we can have a look at also what we have here, what inventory we have here per lot, per our lot. Okay, this is about package dimension. So we have also some, while the time is a bit limited, so I will just explain these few changes without demoing them. So we have, first of all, we have, not first of all, but we have a inventory sheet and inventory receipt documents. These are basically a more formal way to let's say, to start your inventory, to write something off. So it's pages, basically, and neat pages where you have all the information under your hand, and it's much easier for user to navigate instead of navigating in journals. Also, bin codes are added to jobs planning, and you can also use them. And finally, not the biggest change, but really neat one, and it came from that. It's really can take a look. Well, there are a few minutes, so maybe I want to take a look. So you can move item cost adjustment automatically to the background without just creating some crazy schedules or queues. Systems makes it for you. System can make it for you. So whenever you will disable the on-the-fly adjustment, system will propose you to move your cost adjustment to the background. So this would be topics, pretty condensed topics, because time is really limited. As I mentioned, there are around 30 sessions, 20 to 30 sessions around what's new, and just you should just go and pick your favorite one and take a look at what's new. There are a lot of new stuff, and in really different areas of the system. So to conclude, so of course, well, to have all these new features out of the box, so probably you need to think about upgrade process if you have some customers. So probably before moving them to cloud, you need to try to evaluate it, and One-Click Factory provides you exactly the possibility to do so. So basically, by just a few clicks, by uploading your FOB file, you can you are initiating an analysis that is completely free, and you can get a a proposal, a really well, to choose your first of all, to choose what you expect from our upgrade is really well defined. You have very different options. Either you want to have a clean start, either you want to have an upgrade. Maybe you even need to let's say to adjust your IP somehow to fit it in cloud. So a lot of different possibilities, and you can go both to SaaS and both to on-premises. So just by going to our partner zone, to uploading by uploading a FOP file, by providing few important information steps, and you can also configure your grade as you mentioned the way you like it. You can configure warranty, you can configure additional services, or you can basically you can review the full scope, and it's all completely free. So you just upload, and after up to 5 business days, you will be able to see or basically the actual proposal, to play around with it, to maybe to have a chat with your customer, to confirm it, and to start to kick off the project with us. Really easy and let's say self-serviceable features. So just go to our partner zone at oneclickfactory.com, and if you're an existing partner, just upload your IP, your FOB, and start the analysis. If you are a new coming partner, so the path may be a little bit longer. So you need few confirmation from our sales team, but then you have the same opportunity to evaluate any kind of upgrade in up to 5 business days, and have all the information. Thank you for spending this hour with me, and yeah, I really hope that it was useful. Thank you, Oliver, and yeah, take a look at all these live sessions, not live, sorry, recorded sessions. Yeah, and you will find much more information. It's just a showcase, because I just wanted to showcase you as much things as possible, and just to allow you to find more information on your own.